Howdy, and welcome back to the Texas Bucket List. Now, we cover all sorts of unique places on the Texas Bucket List, but if you were to tell me that one day we would feature a master plan community, I would say no way. Well, never say never, especially when that community makes you feel like you are in the middle of a European village. We all know the housing market is hot across the Lone Star State, but over in Big D, it's been out of control. The Metroplex is a mega market with over 8 million residents, and developers are constantly getting creative to create enough homes. But if you're looking for a place to live that doesn't feel like you're in the middle of a big old city, or for that matter, in the middle of America, the Adriatica Village in McKinney might be just for you.
This is the only village that was designed based on the evolution on how we're supposed to live.
Jeff Blackard is a DFW real estate developer.
Developers are weird breeds.
Jeff should know. He's been around Big D for a long time. Originally from Illinois, Jeff was 24 when he came to the Lone Star State.
You know, land of opportunity back in the 81, 82, interest rates were terrible, and so came down here, begged everybody for a job, eventually. A development company hired me, and within a few years I developed 15,000 home sites. I branched out on my own and started doing master plan developments all over the United States.
After years of making massive communities and traveling around the world, Jeff had an epiphany.
When I bought a village in Croatia, big resort, 1,800 room resort, and a lot of components of a village, I really learned what a village really was. What I realized is I've been segregating our society. I'm the worst, because I do these master plan communities and I say, okay, if you make so much money, you can live in this $250,000 house in this neighborhood. And then have 100 of these and 100 of these, and then we call it a master plan community, and we put a gazebo, and we're a village. And I just said, I'm not gonna do that anymore. From that point on, I've focused my whole life on how we can bring society back together again and create a village where the transfer of wisdom happens. We can get along. If you're a Democrat and I'm a Republican or whatever it is, we need each other because we live in a village.
So he built his own Adriatic Village in the middle of McKinney and called it Adriatica. It's modeled after the town that inspired him to do this, and the first buildings he completed was a small chapel and the town tower.
It's after a little town called Supertar. It's on the island of Broch. What I do is I take a lot of similarity to buildings and mimic them as the facial of the village.
Why was it important for you to do the tower and the church first to establish a village?
That's how all villages evolve. There's two components they'd always do first. They build the little chapel and they build the bell tower. And then over time they would build a bigger chapel and they'd build a bigger bell tower. But the bell tower was the communication. It was like their telegraph or their telephone. When the centerpiece of the village is done, then the village is complete. Even though the village may take hundreds, thousands of years to keep on evolving.
Even the streets, which have the feel of a European roadway, have the symbol of Croatia on them.
I literally was up and night after night stamping all those streets, so it felt like cobblestone. So if you look closely, you'll see the little emblem of Croatia, a little stamp on the side.
The chapel on the lake is the second to be built in Adriatica. Jeff wanted to have a more prominent, pious centerpiece to his project.
Jesus on the front of this chapel was from Italy from after the World War II. The bell was a gift from the Croatian government, and I got married here. This is probably the most photographed place in the Metroplex. And every prom picture, every wedding picture, even if they don't get married here, they're down there taking a picture of the chapel behind.
Being a village that constantly evolved also meant making sure the businesses in the village were unique and provided residents with things they needed.
If a flower shop, you need it in your village, but it can't make $25 triple net leases, then you don't put a flower shop, but it's needed by the people.
So do you make sure businesses that come to this place are unique and different and kind of serve the village?
Yeah, I remember this first experiment, but yeah, like the little lady owned a flower shop where she provided flowers in her house. And I found her and I put her in a little building up here. And she couldn't afford it at first, so I subsidized her. But the village needed a flower shop. We have doctor's offices in here, dentist offices in here. So it's a lot of people to believe and be part of the construction of a village.
Jeff's gone on to create more villages across the country and is working on 2 similar projects in Sulphur Springs and Corpus Christi. For Jeff, creating these villages is what he believes will create a more close-knit bond between neighbors and provide folks with a unique place to call home.
It's a combination of a lot of people coming together to make a village actually happen and people believing in it. It's a nice peaceful spot in the middle of McKinney, in the middle of Metroplex, in the middle of Texas.
Well, thanks for watching this segment of the Texas Bucket List. To see more, be sure you subscribe to our channel, and to see full episodes, become a member. In the meantime, you can also shop our store at the Texas Bucket List Store and Studio.